Hello yogis, today we are doing a class for heart openers, and if you're not a regular yogi and you don't know what a heart opener is, that's yoga language for a lot of chest stretching, a lot of stretching in the front of the shoulders, front of the rib cage. We're basically going to try to open up the whole front of the body and strengthen the back of the body. So this is a great practice if you do a lot of sitting, a lot of hunched over work, driving or in front of a computer. So hopefully this will help some of us out. You will need a yoga mat today, and you're going to need a yoga block, or if you don't have a yoga block, some other sort of stand-in, a rolled up towel, a pillow, anything that's semi-firm that you can place under your back for a little bit of support when we get towards the latter portion of our practice. So I'm going to start facing the same way as you guys. For our sun salutations today, I will face side on to you, but I'll try to give you really great directions with right, left, so you know which foot to have in the lead. So if you've been told by a physician or medical professional to not work out, to not take part in yoga, or to be really careful with anything that you do, you might want to just refrain from doing this video today. However, if you're ready to join me, go ahead and hit pause, grab your mat, block, put your favorite music on, and then we're going to start in just a second here. So if you're ready to join in, our feet are in our strong mountain stance. Heels directly underneath hips. You can rock forward and back just a little bit to feel your feet melt into the floor. And then press your feet down firm. Lift the arches. Roll the shoulders back. Arms expand by your side, active arms, like you're holding a weight with each hand. Take a deep breath in through the rib cage. Exhale the breath go. 2 more deep breaths. Feel the belly expand. Feel the belly relax. 1 more time. Next in breath. Arms come up overhead. We call this upright salute, and we're going to exhale our elbows out to the side in our cactus or football goalpost arms. Inhale, lift up again, and now take a twist towards the right. Turn through your waist. Oop, I just hit my back wall. Reach open. Inhale. Big lift up. Cactus your elbows out wide again. That's your flow. This time lift and twist towards the left. Squeeze the seat of the body. Reach the arms open. Big, 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 big. Lifting arms up. And cactus those elbows back, down and wide. 1 more time. Up and to the right. Twist if you're working in a small space. You bend your elbows back to cactus again. Inhale, lifting up again. And cactus center. Upright salute. 1 more time. In breath. Exhale, twist. Ring out the waistline. Inhale, rising back up again. And take a forward fold, diving over the top of the thighs. Now soften the knees as much as you can. Let the weight of the head relax. And see if you can bind. We call this a bind in yoga. Hasta Bandha, or hand lock. Bring your hands together, side by side. Knit the heels of the palms together. And try to expand the arms up. Think like you're going to punch the ceiling and let the weight of the head just hang down. Maybe sway here, side to side. Hopefully that feels good. And come through center. Let your hands come down by your feet or shins. Bend the knees. Push your butt to the back. Pray the hands at heart. You're in a chair pose. You don't have to be too deep into this, but just feel the strength in your thighs. Belly to spine. Back is flat. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Stand upright. So you can stay in your mountain facing towards your camera or device. And I am going to take a side view for 2 times salutations. The reason I'm sideways today is we're going to be doing an exercise that I call the inchworm. So instead of a chaturanga, which is like a yogi push-up, we're going to be doing a little sweep inchworm undulation of our spine. Bring your feet back to mountain pose, belly in, glutes squeezed. Bring the arms up. Try not to take all the artwork off your wall like I just did, and bow down forward. Halfway rise, hands to shin, belly in, and forward fold. Now here, we're going to step our right foot to the back of the mat, and we're in lunge. And if you wanted to stay here, you could drop the back knee, or you could keep the back leg extended. We're about to twist towards our left. So right palm down, left arm up, big twist towards that forward knee. Bring this top hand all the way down, stepping back into downward facing dog. Soften the knees, push your chest to the thighs, soft elbows. Bring knees down to the floor, hips all the way to your seat. You're in child's pose. Now here's where we start our inchworm. This is a pull. So if any of you are swimmers out there, I want you to think of those same muscles you would use in the breaststroke. You're going to keep your palms connected to the floor. Squeeze all the muscles that are under your armpits. Those are your lats and rotator cuff muscles. Think about you're going to skim your body as close to the floor as you can, and then lift up into your cobra. So think about your nose is going to aim right between your thumbs, then your chin, then your chest, then your ribs. Squeeze your seat, lift up into cobra. You can always keep your elbows soft, but squeeze your back and your butt muscles together. And come up into high plank. So plank on the knees first, high plank on the toes next, downward facing dog. Finally, and walk your feet up to thumbs. Halfway rise, hands to shin. Forward fold. Now bend the knees, circle sweep yourself up. Try not to knock anything off the wall. And hands to heart, Anjali Mudra. One more time. Bring your hands up to the sky. Soften your knees, draw the belly in, and forward fold. Halfway rise, hands to shin, and fold again. This time, take your left toe, step it to the back, left palm down, right hand up. Trying to make sure I'm not having a clothing malfunction here. Big twist. The option is to always bend your back knee towards the floor. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Hand is down, belly in, launch back, downward facing dog. Bring the knees down to the floor, downward facing dog, into child's. Inchworm yourself forward into cobra. Feel your hands push into the mat. Engage under the armpits. Think like there's a fence and you've got a duck underneath it with your whole body. So bending through the elbows, sweep under the fence, and then start to lift up into cobra. Belly to spine, shoulder blades back, heart open, and coming into plank. Knees, then toes, then bend the knees, downward facing dog. Walk your feet up. Active lift. Forward fold. Circle sweep up. And hands to heart. And shake out. Okay, I'm facing the same way as you guys now. We want to make sure we have our yoga block somewhat close by for side angle pose. I'm going to be starting off with my right side doing most of the work. So have that block or pillow, book, whatever you have to kind of elevate your posture. Have it off to the right side of your mat. We're going to take our feet quite wide. Think maybe 2 to 3 times your hip width, or you can think of taking up about 3/4 of your mat with your feet. You're going to turn your right toes, turn them out, and bend your right knee. Make sure your right knee does not collapse inward. We're trying to make an open knee. Spread your arms wide for warrior 2. We're going to go 3 times dancing warrior. This means the knee stays bent, we stay low. We simply bend our elbow, forearm to thigh, reach arm over, coming back, and tip back. Coming forward and down, reaching up and back. Give a high five to the wall behind you, and one more time. Now, this reverse warrior is also called a sun warrior. We increase that when we take this bottom hand, sweep it to our low back, and arc up. When we release, forearm back down to the thigh, modified side angle pose. Make sure this left hip comes down with you, and bicep up over ear. Now, if you would like, block to the inside of our right heel, and that will help you get lower in your stance. You could keep this bicep in line with your ear, or you could come around for a half bind to open the chest and stretch the shoulder. Breathing big. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Wide-legged squat with shoulder twists. Release the half bind and bring your 2 toes to point to the front corners of the mat. Now we're going to sink into our knees, bring our hands to thighs, and we are in a plie-like stretch. If you like, you can start twisting through the shoulders here. One shoulder up, one shoulder down. Keep the twist. Breathing in and out. And just hold the wide squat. Maybe shift the knees. We're about to repeat this whole series to the opposite side of the body. So, straightening legs, rolling up. We're going to set up for our dancing warrior. Before you do anything else, transfer the block towards the left side of your mat. That way you're not fumbling for it and potentially hurting your back. We're going to change our feet into our warrior 2 position. Feet are perpendicular, left toe turns out. Bend the left knee, stretch the arms long. Nice engagement in the muscles in the arms. 3 times dancing warrior. Bend the elbow, lean into it, modified side angle. Back to the warrior 2, reverse or sun warrior. 2 more times with breath. Stay balanced. Keep the weight even in the right and left foot. This last time, hold back. Take the aggressiveness out of the warrior pose with our reverse warrior, or wrap back arm around, sun warrior. Bend your elbow to knee. Lean into it. Make sure this right hip is down, and then you can reach back, bicep, over ear. If you would like to come down further, have your yoga block ready to go by left inside heel. Bend your knee more, sink your hip down more. Open the chest. You could be here with extended arm, or my favorite is half bind. I'm trying to bring my fingertips to my thighs. Some people do like to look up. I like to look straight ahead when I do this. Holding for 2 deep breaths. Eye gaze turns down. Take one hand down and start to walk yourself into that wide-legged squat position. Kali Asana, again, remember asana means pose. So take the feet wide, hands on thighs, drop down. Let's go back into our little shoulder twist. Feel this across the front of my shoulder, the one that I'm pointing downward. I'm taking a total of 6 shoulder twists, but you could take as many or as little as you like. When you're ready, hold in the low squat, open the knees, lift the chest, you can even shift. And now for this setup, fingers to the floor, hips high, heel toe walk your feet towards the center of your mat. Roll up like a rag doll. Coming into diver's pose with the chest expansion. This is a tippy toe pose. Now on this particular mat, this is my old mat that I just kind of used for home practice, so it's pretty worn out. It doesn't do well with these little toe rocks. So I'm just gonna come off of my mat for a moment because it's easier for me to do this one on my regular carpet. Your feet can be together side by side, big ball mounds of the feet touching, or you could, if you're a little bit balance challenged feeling today, widen your feet. I'm gonna go narrow. We're gonna see how that works out. Bring the hands behind you. I'm gonna turn around so you can see the bind. My heels of my hands are not apart like this. I'm trying to bring the heels of my hands together. Do the best you can to achieve that. Nice, strong grip, lifted heart, and now see if you can come up to tippy toes. Inhale, if you're with me with legs close, squeeze your inner thighs, and exhale, rock back to heels. Inhale, tippy toe. This time's a little more challenging for me. And exhale, back down. One more time. This time we leave it up. Inhale, lift to tippy toe, and now lift your chest. Try to stay elevated. Imagine you have a string attached to the crown of your head. Someone is lifting you up. Your fists, which are still bound together, are reaching to the wall behind you. Open the heart for 3, 2, and 1. Drop back down. Release the hands. Give a little shoulder roll, wrist roll. Coming into pose of the dancer. So widen the feet. The right heel is going to hook back like you're trying to do a hamstring curl. I don't care if your hand grabs the inside or the outside of your ankle, but get a grip. Hand to ankle and knee close to knee. Now reach that left arm forward, strong arm, and imagine you're going to flex your heel into your mid-back. Reach your fingertips forward. Might feel a stretch in your quads, but on this right side, I'm getting a stretch in my chest and my shoulder. I'm focusing on one unmoving spot that's beyond the camera. We call that our drishti, our focal point in yoga. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Coming out. Let's repeat to the opposite side. So, left heel, hook it back, flamingo pose, or just think of a hamstring curl. The left hand is going to grab the ankle, either inside or outside hand grip, doesn't matter. Grab the ankle, flex your heel, knee close to knee. Bring right arm forward and engage your arm muscles. Soften the standing knee. Pull the heel into the mid-back, arc your heart forward. You're leaning your chest towards the front. That knee, that left knee, is not splayed out. Or if it is, you're not trying to exaggerate that. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Good balance. Forward fold with bind again. We did this towards the beginning of class. We're going to do it now towards the latter half of class. If you would like, keep your legs side by side like what they were in diver's pose. If you need a little more help, go wider. Clasp your hands behind you. Seal the heels of your hands. Lift your chest. Punch the arms, not only back, but back and down, so you lift your chest. Soften the knees. Take a bow forward. Forward fold with arms bound. Let the weight of the head drop. Belly is lightly against the thighs. Take one more breath. Allow the arms to come down. Take one knee down, opposite knee down, and we're kneeling for cat-cow. Now I'd like you all to still face towards the front, how you have been this whole time. I'm going to turn side on view, just like what I was for the sun salutations, because we're doing cat and cow, and we're going to do a cobra hold and a cobra tutorial. Block work is coming shortly. So for cat-cow, I'm in a fixed all-fours position. My shoulders are right over the creases of my wrist, and my knees are over the crease in my hip. Knees are over the crease in my hip. I'm going to inhale. I'm going to let the belly go. Let the belly go. Inhale, arc the heart up. Exhale, round your back. Pull the belly in hard. Inhale. Exhale. It's almost a little growling sensation in the back of the vocal cords when we exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. In breath. Exhale, out breath. Flatten your back and lay onto your belly. So cobra pose. A lot of times when I see people do cobra pose in my classes, they start to lift their hips up, and that's more of an up dog. What I want you to do is a cobra, which has our hip sockets still meeting the ground. My hands are underneath my shoulders, and my elbows point up like cricket wings. I want to keep a long neck throughout, so I'm not trying to crane my head up. I'm keeping my chin drawn a little bit to the chest. Here's the tip. Press the tops of your feet hard into the ground. Squeeze your seat. Start to shrug the shoulders back and start to shine the heart forward. So your cobra might stop here. Your cobra might stop here. Or some of you maybe have straighter elbows. It doesn't matter. What matters is that your hips stay in connection with the floor and you're thinking length through the heart. Hold here for 2 deep breaths. And reset. Let's push ourselves up to all fours and come onto our back side. Next posture, this is fish pose. This is our biggest heart opener or chest stretch of the day. I'm going to recommend we do it with the block. Now here is your warning, disclaimer. If you have a neck issue, you know, your doctor has told you, hey, you have a bulging or herniated C whatever, C disc, cervical vertebrae disc, you are going to want to practice this one a little bit differently. So instead of one block, you're going to want to have 2 blocks. So I only grabbed 1 block for today. That was my bad. I should have grabbed 2 to show you. Let me see. I'm going to grab something. We're going to pretend this is a yoga block. This is not a yoga block. This is a storage thing. But if you're dealing with any sort of a neck issue, if you are dealing with chronic headaches, high blood pressure, eye pressure issues, you need to use 2 blocks to do this one. Why? Because I don't want your head to hang back and I don't want any injuries. So pretend that I have 2 blocks here. This is gonna hurt, all right, because this is hard plastic, but that's okay, it'll help me to show you. So if I had 2 blocks, I would have one under my mid-back area and I would have the other under my head. So when I came into my fish, arms, elbows out to the side, my head would still be supported. That's how you would do that one to modify. If you are coming with me and you're using 1 block, you can go low with your block. You could go medium with your block. Do not go high with your block. Here's why. If you don't have that guy centered and you put your weight on it, it's going to fall and collapse on you. It could even do that sideways, like if you don't have it flat down to the floor, it could collapse on you. So I want you to be very aware of your weight on this prop. You're going to want the middle to upper middle portion of your back to be on that yoga block. Kind of like you're scooping it between 2 shoulder blades. If you don't have any of those issues we previously talked about with the neck or eyes or blood pressure, you can allow your head to come back. Elbows are going to be wide. And if you're protecting the low back today, bend the knees. But if you're not protecting the low back today, if that's not too much of a concern, you could extend your legs. So I'm going to let you get into the fish pose. We're just going to breathe here. We're opening up the chest, the front of the shoulders, throat, let's try 2 more deep breaths in our fish pose. You know what's not relaxing? Knowing that you just spent all morning deep cleaning your kitchen, and now I can hear my husband trying to make something in the kitchen, and I know I'm going to have to clean all of the stovetop grates again. Take 1 more deep breath in and out. Take your palms, turn it down, tuck your chin, and lift off. We are going to come into 2 more postures. One of them will use the block, the other will not. So keeping block or pillow or rolled up towel in hand, we're going to come to a modified bridge and we're going to slip this block under our hips. Ready? Lift up your butt and put that block under your butt. Your weight's resting on it. If you feel uneven, feel free to shift that around a bit. We're going to extend one leg and the other knee. We're going to pull it in. Now if you have a hard time grabbing the back of that thigh, you have time to go grab something like a yoga strap or a sturdy belt, anything to help you pull that knee in. This is stretching our hip flexors. I know we said today was about heart openers, but everything is connected in the body. And I really like to do this stretch towards the end of my yoga classes, just to address the front of the hip. See if we can take one more breath on this side before we change. If you're enjoying this side, go ahead and stay for a little longer. If you're ready to change with me, swap out those legs. You might feel, oh, wow, I have one side that's really, really tight and the other isn't a problem. If you're on the side that's not a problem, you could always go back and just do that really tight side again. Or vice versa. You could skip the last exercise and just stay here if this is the bad side for you. All right, take one more breath in. Exhale. Okay, putting your feet flat to the floor. Let's lift up the butt again, off the block. Safely release it, release that block. Last yoga posture. It's actually what we call a mudra in yoga, M-U-D-R-A, mudra. It's like mudra, but it's mudra. And this directly translates as gesture or seal. So we're going to do something called pond mudra or pond gesture. And this is just a good stretch for the whole front of the body. So think of extending your legs out, kind of like you're coming to a little bit of a starfish position, and then reach your arms out on an angle here. So you're in that full sprawled out position like a starfish. And I think it's called pond gesture or pond mudra because we're just spreading our body out long and wide like water spreading out from a pond. So when I say ready, set, go, you're going to stretch your body into 5 directions. You're going to stretch the right leg, the left leg out, the right arm, the left arm, and then you're going to lengthen the crown of your head. So you're splitting yourself from the middle. Ready, set, and go. Stretch long, stretch long. Think like you're going to grow an inch. You can even squeeze your behind a little bit and reach everything out from your midline. And wiggle your fingers and toes. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Relax. From here you could come into a beautiful Savasana, your final relaxation. Or you could go about the rest of your day. I'm going to start to go about the rest of my day and cleaning up my kitchen, whatever's happening in there. So we're going to bend the knees, roll to the side. Press yourself up. I'm going to say our typical yoga salutation, which means the light in me sees and respects the light in you. Namaste.